Good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're joining in. I got another 10 roll bank challenge. I got a nice mixture here. We got customer wrapped quarters, we got bank wrapped circulated dimes, we've got customer wrapped nickels, and I'm sort of excited over these nickels because some of these, if you look at the end, if I can get this to focus, there we go, we got some pretty nice slick ones. So there might be some older coins in the mix here. I'll get all of that organized, but we just got some nice looking coins. I know there's a 64 ender in there. I think there's a 1960 ender in another one. So looking forward to the nickels. I'm also looking forward to the pennies. I haven't had bank wrapped pennies for a while, but of interest is this roll right here. I'm going to start with this one actually. This has a 1963 on that end. And then on this end, I got excited because look at that. That is a 1950. I ended up couldn't resist it. Hoping it was a ender, but it is not. That is a 1959. So it's 59. Either way, that's the first year memorial. That's going to be a fun roll. So we're actually going to start with that roll here. Let me get this all set up for us down here. Maybe a little more light. Deal with this camera, and let's take a look at those two enders and what this is going to look like in between. So we got decent amount of copper in there. So let's take a look at that first one. Yep, that is that 1959. That on the light side here. So, and that is memorial on the back. On the other side here, we have a 1963, looks like Denver. So nice copper on that one. Let's take a look at what other coppers. That's got a shinier edge, so go on here. We'll just thumb through this quick. 60, 80. I'll go through this closer. 24. So this is modern. 80. So 70s, 60s. 70s. 82. So it looks like that's going to be the best of them. That's a 25. So these are well circulated. No wheat cents in that roll. So I'm going to get going on these pennies, Lincoln cents, and I will bring you in for any finds along the way. Well, that didn't take long. Take a look at that. Roll number 2, not quite halfway in, we have our first wheat cent. That is, let's take a good look at the year. We're looking in 3, 2, 1. 1958 Denver. That is the last year of the wheat cent. So first wheatie, roll number 2. Bring you back in for the next one. This is why I love pennies when you can get pennies. You just never know what you're going to get. So bank wrapped rolls, I haven't seen this. I don't know if I've ever seen this, but I know it does happen. Take a look. If you notice anything wrong on that end, we have it. I see this in customer wrapped, but look at that. From the bank wrapped, I actually got a dime out of that. It's a 2025 Denver. So I wonder if that, while it doesn't look like there's been any gunk on there, so I don't know if it got stuck in the machine sorting. Let's just take a quick count here. We'll see if we're short here. I just see something. I did. That caught my eye. Look at that one. What do we have here? We have a 1975 Canadian in that roll. Interesting. And there should only be 9 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So that took place of a penny. So profit, 9 cents. And let's just do this real quick because I thought I saw. Maybe I didn't. All right. Nope, there it is. Thought I saw another one in there. Look at that, another Canadian. That's an oldie, 1959. So that's still young. Elizabeth on there, but that's a nice oldie. Very next roll, roll number 5, we have our second wheat cent of the hunt. So let's take a look at what date we have here. 1946, Philadelphia. Second Wheatie, nice to see. Bring you back in for the next one. So here we are. It happened again, twice in 10 rolls. Wow, is all I have to say. Take a look at this. This is roll number 9. I've got one more roll left I want to check. But can you see what's wrong? You know, focus would probably help for you to see. Come on. There we go. Can you see what's wrong with that picture? This is the second roll that has included, and unfortunately it is clad, a dime in there. 2012 Denver. So that's the second dime. I don't know if that didn't come out first for you. Can you see the other oddball in there? It's looking right about there. If you saw that sharp edge, focus, you can see that shaped edge. That is not round circle. We do recognize that as a Canadian. Yep, there it is. Queen Elizabeth. Flip the wrong way. And that is 1987. So that's modern Canadian. All right, pennies, Lincoln cents are done, and these are the fines. Going across the top here, we did have 3 1959 Denvers, first year memorial cent. We had 24 1960s. We had 52 from the 70s, 21 from the 80s. We did have 3 2024 Phillies, 25 24 Denver. So people who are saying those are lower mintage, harder to find, I don't agree. We had 25 last year of the Lincoln cent. We have 1 from Philly, 3 from Denver. So they're still out there. They're still in circulation. Have fun hunting and finding those. Of the good finds, we did have 2 rolls that had dimes in there. So we did have 20 cents. That's an 18-cent profit out of those. We have from our Canadians, we have 1959, 1964, 1975, and 1987. So we still are getting Canadian here in the U.S. for a penny that's been out of circulation for 13, 14 years now. We still see them, so they're always fun to have. Of the American finds anniversary years, we have the birth. Yeah, birth on that. That is pretty dirty, 2009. I'll probably just put that one back in circulation. Actually, all of these. We had 2 of his professional life, and just those are just beat up on there. So those might go back for other collectors to find on there. And then the 2 good finds here, we did have those 2 wheat cents. We have that nice condition, clear. That's that 1946 Philly. And that nice brown 19 1958 Denver. So not too bad. All federal wrapped, bank wrapped, whatever you want to call them. For those now, we're going to get going on our nickels, all customer wrapped. I wanted to start with this one. This one again has a very slick end, and there is a mint mark on that side. I just can't see what it is. And then on this side, we do have an older one as well. So let's just take a look and see what kind of coinage these might have before I clean everything up. So no edges sticking out. Let's see that first one. We have that 1964 Philly. On the other edge, look at that, 1953. And that is a Denver Mint. So that was that slick edge, 1953. That's a good one to see here. And let's just flip through these real quick. I'll go through in more detail off camera. All right, those nickel rolls were not as hot as I was hoping they would be. We're looking forward to them being. Look at that. We do have a 1940. That is a Philadelphia and really slick. Very common to see that one. We have two 1953, both of which are Denver's, relatively common nickel right there. We also have two 1959s, and I will say this is the best one of the lot. Look at that 1959. This is a Philly. And if you zoom in, if I can get that balance just right, there are some steps in that upper right hand side. There's still a lot of detail in this for being a 1959, especially when you look at the Denver 59. Look how much darker that is. Look at the back, how beat up that is. I mean, look at the two next to each other. Just totally different. You wouldn't expect that coming from the same year. So I don't know if that's going to be an upgrade or not, but that is a good coin nonetheless. We'll take a look at that. I'll just move those up there for now. Bringing in the dimes here for you. I do encourage people, run your fingers down the edge because every once in a while you'll feel something out of the ordinary. And I'm also looking because you can almost see a little darker edge. But I mean, look at that one. I didn't even have to run my edge to see something is sticking out there. So we're going to start here. Just get hopefully some excitement with these dimes. Haven't been as exciting. And let's see what's going on. That's digging in. And nope, that is just some beat up dimes. Look at that. That is chewed up, drilled out, pinched on the edge. I even make out a year on that. 19 something 9, Denver. Can't even really make out that year, but man, that one's beat up. Look at this one. This must be like the reject bin. That is an 88 Denver. So that's a beat up one. This one not too bad. 1970. Clad. I'm not seeing any silver or dark edges that are jumping out at me other than some massively disfigured times in that. I mean, that's just unreal. Coming from the bank, too. All right, as expected, nothing in the dimes, but oh man, it looked like those dimes went through a garbage disposal. I couldn't believe the number of issues we had with dimes. So we're going to get going on the quarters. We got some interesting rolls here. We've got a couple with that where their account number was blacked out, but it's not on every roll. All customers. We have this one. This roll looks like it's been used, reused. Oh, too short there. I mean, look at that. It's starting to fall apart here. So we're going to start with this one. Curious on the 25 on the end there. But yeah, that thing's just falling right apart. So we're just going to get rid of this roll and see what kind of coins we have here. Nice colors on the sides there. We got a couple dirty ones there, but that's all looking clad. Looks like we might have a couple new ones on this end. Let's just see what we have. Yep, 2024, 24, and 84. So I'm just going to go through these real quick. Look for, wow, good condition. Look for any errors. Look for those silvers. 2026s. Oh, got bicentennial there. And we'll bring you back in. Did anybody catch that? I'm putting a shot here on the screen when I make this. Hopefully right there. Um, I didn't notice it until I was going through. I'm like, crap, did I drop this in here? Look at that. That is a Susie B. That is a dollar quarter. But look over there, guys. It was in that roll. That's why the roll was all beaten up. That was the last one. I did not even notice that until I was going through. Another great find in this one is look at this bicentennial. Look at the shine on that thing. And it is a Denver. But man, that is one beautiful Denver bicentennial. That is definitely an upgrader and keeper. So that is the finds. That was off the first roll. All right, here we are at the end of the quarters. Nothing too phenomenal of finds here. We did have in that first roll, we did have this Susan B. Anthony 1979, just a normal print, but that's a bonus coin, extra 75 cents in that one. We also had a whole roll, one complete roll. I think somebody had gone through some of these because I had a whole roll of these 200-year bicentennials, but this one is just a stunner. That's definitely an upgrade to my collection. To see a bicentennial in that, well, to see a whole roll, $10 worth of bicentennials was fun. And then later in the hunt to get, here we go, come on, there we go, this Philadelphia sesquicentennial. So we got bicentennial and a sesquicentennial. That is the Mayflower. I am starting to see these more and more and more, so they're not as wonderful of a find nowadays. Of the other finds, these are lower mintage. We have a U.S. Virgin Islands 2009, and that is a Philadelphia. Pretty good condition, nice lower mintage. We have a 2010. That will focus. 2010 Hot Springs, again under 50 million minted on these, and we have a 2010 Grand Canyon. So mintages are up there on the screen, but some lower, not key dates, but they are harder to find quarters within the bundles. So that's it. Pretty humdrum, not too exciting. I mean, no dimes. If I look here, I'll slide out my nickels from the finds 1953, 1953, 1940, 59, and 59. Yep, in a good condition. So yeah, so pretty standard finds across the board. So thanks for joining in, guys. Sorry this wasn't more exciting, but please remember to hit that thumbs up. Give me that like on there. It helps the Google algorithms, YouTube algorithms greatly. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. It's free of charge, and you can, if you choose, to set up alarms. I send videos. I upload videos, shorts every Wednesday, and long format videos like this every Friday. So until the next time, guys, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and happy hunting.